And for the final time, I don't believe it, we get to welcome you back into our Cisco TV studio. Why the final time? Can't even believe this. It is time for the closing host segment here in our live broadcast from Cisco Live 2025 Amsterdam. What an incredible week this has been, and a big part of why it's been so great, all of you tuning in from all over the world to join us here on the live stream. It has been so good to have you with us all the way along. Loads to go, by the way, right? So don't go anywhere. We've got a lot in this segment and beyond, so make sure that you stay with us. I'm Steve Moulter. This is our wrap show. Speaking of which, we have just wrapped our final center stage session on building a better Wi-Fi 7 blueprint and how to design a future-proof network. We heard from Simone Arena, distinguished technical marketing engineer with us here at Cisco, and from Vivek Menon, senior director for product management and Cisco Spaces. So they were able to demonstrate all of the different ways that Cisco Wi-Fi 7 is bringing new experience, new opportunity to every single one of our industries, including more bandwidth, tighter security, better performance across the board. And right now, we're going to keep that Wi-Fi conversation rolling by heading out to Alpa, who is in the Wi-Fi 7 booth. Hey there, Alpa.
Hey, Steve. And just by magic, I am indeed at the Wi-Fi 7 booth, and I have found Manisha Alfaro, Product Marketing Manager at Cisco. Hello, Manisha. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Doing well. Happy to be here.
Excellent. Well, we want to hear all about unified licensing.
Absolutely.
So can you tell us a bit more about what it is and how it benefits our customers?
Yeah, absolutely. So licensing has historically been a bit of a pain point with our customers and partners. But I'm really excited to share that Cisco has taken great strides in simplifying this experience with our new unified licensing model. And unified licensing basically has two major benefits. One is that customers have unparalleled flexibility to manage their network how they want, whether that's in the cloud, on-premise, or in a hybrid environment, all with the same type of license. So what this means is that a customer is not locked into a management mode at the time of purchase, and they can switch as their business needs evolve. And the second major benefit of unified licensing is that support for both hardware and software is embedded in the license, ensuring that they have seamless support coverage across their networks.
Oh, brilliant. So then how does unified licensing relate to Wi-Fi 7 particularly?
Yeah, so unified licensing is available with all of our Wi-Fi 7 access point models, including the new 9172 model that we just announced. And we have two types of unified licenses: Cisco Wireless Essentials and Cisco Wireless Advantage, and both our cloud and on-prem customers will find features that they know and love with MR licensing and DNA licensing. And with the launch of Wi-Fi 7, we talk about future-proof workplaces and transforming spaces and experiences, and a big part of that story is Cisco Spaces, which is included for all of our customers with premium capabilities included in the Advantage tier.
Amazing, so you've thought of everything.
Yes.
So how can customers get it? What are the purchasing options with unified licensing?
Yeah, so unified licenses can be purchased in two ways. One is through our Cisco Enterprise Agreement, and two is through our new Cisco Networking subscription. And this subscription is highly customizable with term lengths anywhere from 12 to 84 months. It also provides flexible payment options, the ability to align renewal dates to cost centers, and discount protection. And on top of that, as I mentioned before, there's embedded support for both hardware and software for all of the licenses in the subscription. So it's never been easier to buy from Cisco in a way that really future-proofs your network and allows you to focus on your business needs rather than worrying about license management.
Amazing. And is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers and our attendees about Wi-Fi 7 and unified licensing?
Just that people have been really optimistic coming to the booth. They love this new licensing model, and it solves a lot of the pain points that they've been dealing with some other licensing issues. Yeah.
And what's been one of your highlights of the week so far?
So we've been doing partner tours, and I don't know, I just really positive feedback on our licensing. So I would say that's my highlight.
Amazing. And do you have any final closing thoughts you'd like to share?
Just happy to be here.
Amazing.
And
Thank you so much,
Thank
Manisha,
you.
for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you so much.
Right, Steve, you've had the lowdown on Wi-Fi 7 and unified licensing, so I'm going to head back over to you.
Yes, I do. Thank you. We're coming over to this camera here. Thanks so much. Really appreciate everything there that Manisha was able to share with us. And Alpa, thanks to you as well. Such cool capabilities. When it comes to unified licensing, we don't really think about this in terms of the nature of our organizations and the way unified licensing empowers our organization, right? Cisco Unified Licensing does so many things for us, a lot of benefits and a lot of great impacts, right? Cisco Unified Licensing, you just heard it from Manisha, it gives customers exactly like you such incredible flexibility if you want to manage your networks, right? Whether it's on-prem, in the cloud, any hybrid environment, exactly what you heard from Manisha, right? Whatever structure your org takes, you don't have to have separate licenses for every single part of your business. It's so cool. And what's also cool, once you have that unified license for your org, reliable product support for hardware, for software, it's there. It's embedded in your subscription, done. It really is the ideal way to future-proof your network and to keep 100% of your focus right where it belongs, which is on your core business. You don't want to worry about licensing. Come on. All right, right now, we are going to go out and take a tour of the NOC here in the world of solutions. Rob was out with Jim Florwick for a deep dive into traffic running across the network here in Amsterdam, all the different ways that our incredible NOC team is able to design for any and every need, every challenge, every demand. Let's go check out the NOC together.
Well, sure enough, of course, they catch me back in the Network Operations Center again, but this time it's to talk about wireless, and it's to speak about it with someone who's not so hidden, but Jim Florwick. Jim has always been part of my go-to, how am I going to explain this new concept? How do I understand this standard? How can we make this simple, and what are we doing lately? And I'm going to do that to you again today. Are you okay with that?
I'm fine with that. Good to see you, Rob.
Good to see you as well. So I always come to you with wireless.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of Wi-Fi here. We all depend on it.
We do.
We all complain if it's not working just perfectly for
How's it working?
What's the what?
How's it working?
How's it working? It's working fine.
Good.
I think
Good.
It's been great. But what I wanted to ask you about is I ran into you in the hotel when I was checking in on arrival a few days ago, I think it was. We were talking about Wi-Fi 7. And we were kind of going through, and you were helping me understand, here's how I would pitch some of the newer parts of the standard and where people are really getting value out of it. And then you mentioned that you guys are running Wi-Fi 7 here.
We are.
But it's only in a certain area. And I wonder if you could give us tell us what we're seeing here that anybody could walk up and see, and then tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Wi-Fi 7 right now and why.
Okay, well, this board's rolling around. Right now, this is the number of clients that are on the network.
Mostly Wi-Fi 6, I remember.
Right. Okay. Ooh. Significant here, all total number on network was 7,000 earlier. We're down to 64. 4,000 on open roaming. That is seamless. If you walked in here, you'd ever been on open roaming here, you went right onto the Wi-Fi. And then
How would you have not used that before, though, on the open roaming?
We have used it.
We've used it, but the take in it has been different, right?
Primarily because of the application. Nobody wanted to commit it through the app, and we've been doing that now for a couple of Cisco Lives. And I've been using it for years. I go to Mobile World Congress, as you know, after this. I get to Mobile World Congress, I get off the airplane, I'm in the airport on the Wi-Fi, and I stay connected across 3-4 different networks getting over to the venue.
So you're saying you don't have to re-authenticate every time?
I never even. It's like it's being on cellular. You just never even look at it, and you're just connected.
Okay,
and
so I'm glad you brought up the
nice.
open roaming. I love that here. But so primarily Wi-Fi 6, some Wi-Fi 5, believe it or not.
There is some Wi-Fi 5 around. Most of that is probably going to be application specific and some older phones. We've actually got some people still on 2.4 here, but because we have everything up in 5 and 6 gigahertz, you're able to use 2.4 gigahertz now. So, yeah, we've got a lot of expand. Actually, this right here is showing me all the channel utilization of all the radios across the venue.
That feels like a pretty even distribution, then.
Oh, it's a great distribution. We've been seeing about 60 to 70% across the venue, which is optimal. And Wi-Fi 7 is all about.
How's that actually being distributed like that? Is it just something the system is doing? Is this
we have the individual radios in the cells, right? And that's how we monitor the load on those radios, is the airtime utilization of that. And it's humming along just fine right now. I think we've taken something like 4 or 5 terabytes off the network so far.
Well,
that's the spread of APs that we have here, and that's also, there are a couple
of APs?
That's the numbers of different types of APs that we have here. And then you see the 9176s. I've got 10 of those. a bunch of the eyes, and then again, this is the big news. That little slice of green up there is the Wi-Fi 7 traffic, and right now that equals about 1% on the
Yeah,
network.
it was like 8 people. It's just
Right.
in the meeting village you had mentioned. The density is different with Wi-Fi 7, but there's a ton of benefits in
There's a
terms
ton
of
of
what we
benefits.
get now. And you mentioned it's kind of,
Absolutely.
we've been improving on things as we move forward.
Yeah, Wi-Fi 6 gave us OFDMA, 6E gave us the 6 gigahertz spectrum, right? So with that, we had all the pieces in place for Wi-Fi 7. And a couple of stars in Wi-Fi 7. I like MLO a lot, and that's because we've been testing it, multi-link operations.
Yep.
This is on the same AP, but what it does is it sets an abstraction layer, if you will, above the interfaces themselves. So the phone has no idea what band it's operating on. It's operating on 2 bands. And we just did a bunch of testing with that before I came up here. We knocked out one band or the other, and it was a seamless experience.
There's more centralized control with this one, right? So when
Quite
you
a
have the
bit.
right client on the other side, there's a little bit more control given to, hey, what's the big picture? And now
Right.
the wireless system is making decisions. But only a single AP combining multiple bands?
On a single AP. Wi-Fi 8, we're going to be able to join another AP while we're still connected to an AP. So this will be links on other devices. That's what they're shooting for we'll see. But
Yeah.
this is definitely out there in the future. Wi-Fi 7 right now, though, with the improvements, we're improving steadily on the OFDMA architecture in Wi-Fi 6.
Okay.
So we got more efficient use of the MRUs. We got a better PHY layer now. We actually have a reduced header on the packet. And you can see it. We've been doing testing, and you can definitely see a pickup with pure Wi-Fi 7 clients. Here, I'll tell you, I've been running these shows for a long time. I used to fear it because
Right.
Wi-Fi
Well, it
was
seems like every
hard
time
to
we
make
get everything
work.
set up, you guys come out here and you build the network in advance.
We do.
Kind of upgrade the facility to the degree, not always to the bleeding edge, but to the degree that is ready.
The
for what
important
you need to
things,
accomplish.
fiber, cable drops, APs, infrastructure. Usually the venue's running on current switches.
Yeah.
We come in typically about 4 days before the show starts. Here we do it about 2 weeks. We're good friends with the RAI now.
Well, Jim, tell me about how you guys prepare for a venue like this in terms of the wireless infrastructure.
Oh, there's a lot of work that goes into that, Rob.
And it happens a bit earlier
A
than
couple of
sometimes you
years
expect.
before we actually bring a Cisco Live into a city, we're in with an advanced team looking at the networking. Usually it's a Cisco customer or someone who's transitioning to Cisco. But we help with fiber, cable, setting up, consulting. I come in here and did a site survey back in 2018, I remember, doing one, and then coming back in 2020 just before COVID.
Yeah.
Because we were going live the next year. So we come in a couple of years in advance, make sure that what's here, what's needed is here. I've consulted with the RAI on their AP choices and layouts. So by the time we get here, everything's where we need it. We swing basically the entire infrastructure of this venue over to our core, and that's what you're seeing in here operating during the show. So, and then we
so they
maintain
get
it.
the benefit of having that advanced
They do.
architecture laid out for them.
Yep.
We leave. Of course, they're on their own with
Robert
managing.
Hatnick, who owns this particular house for the network, is sitting in our knock right now. Yeah.
So there's some benefits
it's a
to working with
partnership.
Cisco on events like these. Learn a lot about how these things, because these are dynamic environments. But if you get a chance, come by the knock. I don't know if you're going to be able to catch Jim here to ask him your detailed wireless questions. I've got a phone number too I might be able to share. Either way, come by here, talk to the experts, and learn what this could be doing for you.